That doesn't sound anything alike. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
We have E, F, E. So you see that basically the melodies are also the same.
Why do I need to know that? Why does it help me in any sort of way? Hi, this is Brett with Piano Aha. In this video, this is sort of a bonus track. We want to talk about Bach's Prelude in C major and how the first four measures are basically the same as the last four measures. So let's listen to the first four and the last four. Here is the beginning. And here is the end, so the last four measures. Now you might say, that doesn't sound anything alike. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's what this video is about. I'm going to explain to you how these first four measures and the last four measures are very, very similar to each other. Let me show you what I mean.
So we'll start by looking at the bass here at the beginning. We have C, C, B, C. Those were the notes in the first four measures. Let's look at the last four measures. Now, first of all, I'll just really look at the lowest note. So we'll look at the bass. And you'll see that that's not the same. But this lowest bass line is uninteresting because it's always the same. We'll look at the actual lowest note that's moving, which is actually this voice here. And you remember at the beginning we had... So the lowest moving note at the first four measures and the last four measures is the same. So that's one way in which they're the same. So now let's look at the chords. So we have here a C major chord. Here we have a D minor 7 chord. We have a G7 chord. And here we have, again, a C major chord. Now let's look at the chords here. We have a C chord. This time it's a C7 instead of a C major, but it's all the same, the root is a C. And then we have a D minor 7 chord again. Now at first glance, this looks like an F major chord, but if you keep reading, you'll see that these D's down here are indeed present. That is the same chord as we had here. And this here, again, is a G7 chord. And the end is a C. So again, basically the same chords at the beginning and at the end. Now a third aspect would be the actual melody. So I'm going to call the melody just the highest note in each measure. So we have, I'll just play these chords and accent the highest note. So I have... So in other words, the melody was... And now we want to look at that same thing here. I'm going to accent the melody note. Here it's an E. Now we have an F. Here we have another F, just an octave higher. And then here we have an E. Now you might think, now wait a second. Why is he suddenly taking the lowest note? Here he took the highest note, here he took the highest note, and here he took the highest note. And here he's taking the lowest note as the melody. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Because if you listen to this line here, the nearest note in this last chord, and the one that you would probably hear as the melody, is actually the lowest note. So in other words, just like here we had E, F, F, E, here we have E, F, F, E. So you see that basically the melodies are also the same.
So those are three ways where the first four measures of the piece are very similar to the last four measures of the piece. Now you might ask yourself, why do I need to know that? Why does it help me in any sort of way? Well, I'd say maybe three things to that. One, maybe it helps you remember a little easier what you have to play in the first four and the last four, having seen the relationships between them, and then certain aspects that you might not otherwise have noticed become clear. That's one thing. Second, maybe it doesn't help you. Maybe watching this video was just a total waste of your time. That's possible. Third possibility, maybe we get a bit of a look behind the scenes at how Bach was composing this piece. Maybe for him, it was totally clear the first four measures and the last four measures will be the same, but that with time, he changed so many little details. He jumped up an octave. The whole pattern in measure 33 and 34 is different, so that we today, as listeners or as players, don't even notice that it was actually the same thing as at the beginning. But it's interesting because we get to see behind the scaffolding as the building of this piece was being constructed. Be that as it may, thanks for watching this video, and happy ahas.